Oh yeah. Bring it on down now. Nice and smooth. This is a president's rap for the 20th century. If you learn the facts, the rest is elementary. 7 minutes long and highly syncopated. If you don't like rapping history, then you might get irritated. Well, everybody liked President McKinley, caring for his wife ever so gently. He beat Spain with the main, incidentally. That anarchist who shot him dead was being unfriendly. Well, that brought Teddy up, monopolies were broken up. The Renaissance man, the JP could not corrupt. He stood up for the miner and told his boss to pack it up. He saved our national forests from hacking up. Was Teddy's choice, but didn't have a strong voice. His policy was hanging loose, got trampled by the bull moose. But Willie didn't hold a grudge, he said he'd rather be a judge. The number one judge. Order in the courtroom. And with Republicans splitting it down, the Democrats came into town. Wilson was smart from the start, no need to doubt it. Except for one thing, the textbooks never talk about it. No blacks could work in government, though Teddy had allowed it. Wilson was a racist, America need to face this. Along came World War I, Wilson said won't be no fun. Gotta have patience, create a League of Nations. But America wouldn't join it, to his humiliation. Then came Harding, but soon he was departing. Couldn't hold the scandals back, so he had a heart attack. Harding's pal, silent college business, have a backer now. Laid back groover, he paved the way for Hoover, who said there ain't no messing with this the Great Depression. So the voters in 32 taught him a lesson. Took him to school. In came FDR, raised on caviar. Teddy was his cousin, so the country was a buzzing. Now we'll get a new deal, Roosevelt will keep it real. But soon came World War II and everyone got work to do. Biggest fight we ever knew, but FDR is almost through. A true man bombed Japan because if we invaded, the number of the dead would have been greatly escalated. Then we had a Cold War, communist aggression. Stalin, Mao, and Castro made a bad impression. So Truman sent the troops with the UN intercession, trying to keep things freer down in South Korea. And then the presidency was General Eisenhower's. He used the CIA to overthrow some foreign powers. Then he built the interstate so they could not anticipate where we had the weapons with the power to annihilate. Kennedy took us into outer space. He won in 1960 with his television face. Peace Corps, Secret War, some say he's overrated. He tried to fight for civil rights but got assassinated. Now was he overrated? Got assassinated. LBJ tried to slay poverty and oppression, but Vietnam got in the way, became his main obsession. Nixon had a secret plan to get us out of Vietnam, but bombing Southeast Asia made a bad man of Uncle Sam. Then we had burglaries, Watergate, flim flam. He said it ain't my crime, but I guess I must resign. And so he did resign. In came Ford, who never got elected. Then he gave a pardon so that Nixon was protected. Bad call made it all that much harder to defeat that good old Southern boy Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter. But protecting the Shah, it was a real non-starter. Took a stand with Iran, wouldn't trade or barter. It made him look weak, cause he couldn't free the hostages. In prison in a land with no bacon, ham, or sausages. No ham or sausages. For all them hostages. Reagan was a movie star, acting took him really far. Arms race, tax cut, some said he was a nut. His Star Wars plan the Russians couldn't understand. He gave the Contras money, got from selling weapons to Iran. That's right. He deregulated industry, the unions were curbed. Cut funding for the treatment of the mentally disturbed. Said this new Russian leader seemed very well intended. We'll have a couple meetings, then this Cold War be ended. He traveled to Berlin and said, you tear this wall down. And you know it wasn't very long until they came around. In came Vice President George H.W. I'd ask you what it stands for, but I don't want to trouble you. He sent us to Kuwait to free them from Saddam and all. He caught Noriega and kicked keeping Yugoslavs alive. But we know with the ladies, he wasn't no novice, caught fooling around with Monica in the Oval Office. That's right. Oh yeah. In the Oval Office. All together now. The president's rap for the 20th century. If you learn the facts, the rest is elementary. So study up, remember, and keep a double checking, cause you might just have a test in 25th or 42nd.